Passes on tape. Tape to tapes. Come on, hurry up. Sleep till Brooklyn. The two greatest rap groups ever. Run DMC and the Beastie Boys. You had those two, and that was all you needed. Everything else is superfluous. Which is to say stinks. Well, one man's opinion. Hip hop, I see. Oh, wait, no, that's Vanilla Ice. It started out like Billie Jean. Zoe Scott icing the puck, clearing the zone on warm-ups. Nice to see Zoe locked in. Miller in the middle. Sends it behind. J-War. Live streaming on one device, watching the Eagan High School girls take on the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars on the other device. This is going to be a major test for yours truly, Mr. ADD boy. Will I be able to focus and not make mistakes? So folks, welcome to the third game of pool play here at the O-Town Showdown. This is a matchup between your u10b1 Blue Spartacats and the u10b1 Saints from West St. Paul. 12 minutes on the clock. First period action are set to begin here from Owatonna, the Dudley Auto Rink Beautiful Steele County Fairgrounds, lovely Owatonna, Minnesota. Saints are in white with the blue and powder blue trim. Spartacats are in their road blues with the white trim. And we are underway. Starters out there, Bauman, Marcel, and Olson. Cron and Donahue are your defenders. Jay War starts this game in net for the Spartacats. And wrapped around there by the Saints, taken to the far corner. Bauman tries to dig that out. Good work along the boards by the Saints. Force that back. Opportunity there for Cron. Sends it in towards the crease. Olson sends it behind the Saints' cage. One of the Spartacats trips on the net, and here come the Saints breaking out. They've got a 3-on-2 to the far side. They bring it over the line. Good poke check there by Cron. Another Saint gets to it and slaps it towards net, but doesn't quite come off. Let's see if the Saints are able to control it. They do momentarily, and Donahue sends that wide to the side, but that's not going to make it for icing. We're going to see if Olson can hit the Jets, but the Saints get there first. Line change behind everybody as Scott came on. That's Shack behind the net. Centering pass doesn't find anybody. That's going to, I thought that was going to get out. I don't know that got out, but referee's eyes are better than mine. And offside with 10:38 and counting. Now they stop the clock. They a little slow on the clock there. 10:38 to go here. First period just underway. Score 0-0 from the O-Town Showdown. Miller tries to stick handle there. Lots of bodies and sticks in the way. Here come the Saints trying to break out on the near side. They get it out to neutral ice where it's sent back in by Shack. Miller slaps at that one. Milner, Miller, and Nurka are your three here for the forward line for the Spartacats. As Miller steers that one back into the offensive zone. Shack and Scott. So we have the same lineup that we had in the first game. Again, a 1-1 tie against Northern Tier, and that one finds its way in. Good job by the keepers staying tight on that one. There was a bit of a tip in front of her, and she was able to get a glove on that for an offensive zone faceoff. 10:02 to go here, first period. Marcel, Olson, and Bauman out, along with Cron and Donahue. Referee trying to line up the girls, make sure they're in the right spot. Now he drops the puck, comes to the middle. This one's going to fall for Donahue. Donahue sends it in, but it's blocked. Opportunity comes in tight, and a goal! A shot and a goal. It loops up and over the goalie's shoulder, and that's Maren Olson. Maren Olson with her, I believe, first tally of the tournament. And so with 9:50 to go, a quick early goal here, right off the faceoff. It looked like a harmless enough win for the Spartacats, but Olson kept with it, managed to poke it up and over the keeper. Keeper had a little bit of bad luck there, as it took a bounce that was just really fortunate for Olson. Same line stays out there. This puck's going to find its way out to neutral ice as Donahue unable to hold the line. Donahue thinks about a D-to-D pass and then sees a bunch of white jerseys between her and Cron, sends it down deep behind the cage. Saints circle behind their cage. Olson deep on the forecheck. She's got to jump on her step, and why not? She just tallied. She sends it now across. Let's see if Donahue can get to this one. And the Saints will win it first. They'll send it down, but Donahue keeps it. Cats had just cleared the zone. Nicely done that time by Olson. This one goes the other direction. And here come the Saints. Good defense that time by Scott. Scott quickly off the bench. Milner and Miller right there fighting with the Saints forwards on the forecheck. That one came out, but it's brought back in. That time, interestingly enough, by the Saints. Shack with a poke check there, sent back out, or attempted to be sent out that time by Scott. Milner now pitchforks that away. This is Nurka far side. Nurka gets it in over the line, sends it behind the net. Milner tries to get to it. Comes to Scott. Scott sends it towards net. Milner with a backhand, a sneaky little backhand, but a good save that time by the Saints keeper. Gets pushed around behind everyone, and now the Saints are off to the races. But Scott able to get her stick on that one, and she'll circle near side. Nelner was waiting near the blue line. She's going to send it in towards net. Nicely done. That was a good save. Nelner still has another opportunity. Tries to punch that one in. Here come the Saints with the defense. Good centering pass that time by Scott, sitting in the slot. Nobody could get, in blue could get on it, but the Saints managed to get a clearance. Left side of your screen, Nelner tries to feed Scott. Scott goes back in. Well, that was a smart little play by Eden Miller, lifting up her skate. Nurka goes down in a heap on the far side. Scott holds it in. Scott comes to the middle, sends it in towards the net, but it misses. Miller behind the net, tries to backhand it into the crease, but good defense that time by the Saints. The Saints still not out of their end yet, but they're going to get out now as Shaq has it there. Saints pressuring. And here come the Saints to the near side. Scott with the defense. Looks like Marcel's going to have that on the far side. She's going to send it out. It's a pass. Missed everybody, but at least it made it to neutral ice. This one's at the bottom of your screen. Saints right at the bottom of your screen near the referee, and he blows his whistle for offside with 6:51 to go. Score 1-0 favor of the Spartacats. And as I said in the preamble to this broadcast, I am watching two games. I'm watching the Spartacats and Saints, and I'm watching the Egan High School girls hockey team take on Bloomington Jefferson on Youth Hockey Day in Egan. I have a rooting interest. My daughter, if anyone doesn't know, is on the varsity team, so it'd be fun to watch her score. Maybe fun to watch her sister score in this one. Cron and Donahue, your defenders. Wilhelm is now out for the Spartacats in net. Bauman steers that one down. Pushed aside by the Saints keeper. Goes into the near corner. Now the Saints circle behind their own net. This one comes short side. This is for Olsen. Olsen fires this one across. That was well done by Olsen. Not sure it was going to go in, but it was a dangerous centering attempt. Donahue keeps it in. Pushes it towards Marcel. Marcel's going to battle there against three Saints. Donahue gets it again. Now she sends it across. And the Spartacats will regroup. You're going to get Bloomington Jefferson Egan girls score updates on this broadcast too. This puck gets pushed. I almost said ball. This puck gets pushed down. I think this is going to go for icing, and it will. With 5:46 to go, shots officially 4-0 in favor of the Spartacats. 5:46 to go here, first period, and icing on the Saints. Just underway also in Egan. I think I'll just give you big score updates there. Miller, Nelner, and Nurka, your forwards. This one won by the Saints. They come to the far side. Trying to break out there. They clear the zone. Cron holds it. Makes sure everybody's out. Sends it right back in. Smart move by Cron there. Nelner's going to get on the end of this. She's going to try to center. She does. Nice little centering pass. Miller shoots and scores. It was an innocent little shot by Miller. And the Spartacats' leading scorer so far this season tallies another one, her second goal of the tournament, with 5:26 to go here in the first period. Again, it was a relatively innocuous backhand by Miller, but I think the goalie was screened, and it took a weird bounce and ended up in the back of the net. It just goes to show you, folks, if you keep shooting, good things can happen. And the Spartacats now out to a multiple goal lead. Shaq sends that one in. Nurka will chase. Saints chip that one off the board, trying to get past Shaq. She's able to steer it back down into the corner. Nurka takes a whack at that with 4:55 to go here, first period. Another shot in and towards the goal, but it's saved smartly by the Saints keeper. Saints bring it up the far side. Looks like they're going to try to stick handle that one out. Miller knocks that one down. Nelner will press on this near side. Comes to Scott at the point. Scott shoots from the point, steers it into the slot, but goes wide and misses everybody. Nurka again in the corner. This is going to come for Shaq at the blue line. Shack sends this in. It's blocked by the defense. Defense clears it to the right of the keeper. Oh, good centering attempt. Oh, that almost did a skate and went in. What an odd goal that would have been. That would have been incredibly unlucky for the keeper. As it is, we play on. Both teams in the midst of a line change. And I think we have offside. Yeah, offside against the Spartacats as that puck was bouncing all over the blue line area. Face-off for Marcel, Olsen, and Bauman. Bauman gives chase deep on the forecheck. Olsen circles. Marcel now gets it. Marcel digging at the corner. Somebody sent it to the middle. Not sure if that was a Saint or if it was Marcel. In any event, it came in. Now it goes back out. Comes to Donahue at the blue line, and the referee on the other side says, Mira, you let it go too far. Offside against the Spartacats. Face-off win that time by the Saints. Saints go to the far side. Olsen tries the check. Saints lose their footing. This puck comes to the near side. Saints with some ice in front of them. This one comes back for Donahue. Donahue slaps this one towards the other end, but it hit a Saint on the way through. Goalie sees that one to the side safely. Olsen deep on the forecheck. Bauman's going to try to get to that. Marcel tries to steer it back the other way, and here come the Saints breaking out, but Donahue gets a stick to it. Marcel and Donahue got tied up there, and now the puck is behind the Saints' cage. Oh, good, excellent. That's an excellent feed to the middle, and the referee says no goal as it's sitting right there on the line. Excellent call, good save by the keeper. It was a dangerous pass to the top of the crease, and this time nothing got in the way. One of the Spartacats, I could not tell you what number, had a chance at that, but the keeper closed the 5-hole. Nicely done to keep this a 2-goal game. Scott wins that one, sends it across ice. Nurka's on the far side. Referee and one of the Saints players falling down on this side, but fortunately everybody's up an opportunity. Here's Nelner, shoots. She's going to just miss wide. Miller behind the net, sends it in, an opportunity, and Miller scores! Aiden Miller, not the first time we've seen that from her this season. A sneaky little cross, a sneaky little shot using something else to knock it in. In this case, it was a skate. And the Spartacats jump out to a 3-goal lead, 2:27 to go here in the first period. Miller with this, her second goal of the game. This comes for Nelner. Nelner tries to center. Good defense that time by the Saints. Forces that into the corner. This one comes to the slots, poked away as Nurka couldn't get a hold of it. Scott has it. She shoots from distance. Bouncing puck. And that was a tricky little shot that went wide. This one comes for Shack at the point. Shack comes to the middle. She tries to backhand it in. This comes for Nurka. Nurka shoots, but good defense there. And now here come the Saints the other way. Saints through middle center ice. Good back check there by Nelner. Saints push that deep. And the Cats around the corner. Good interception that time by the Saints as Scott was trying to get it to her teammate. Has to regroup. This time punched forward by Miller. Here come the Saints. Saints near side. And that's cleared gently by Scott. That's not going to make it for icing. Nelner is going to get there, however. What does she have in the tank? This falls nicely and kindly for Miller. Miller's going to shoot in, a good save by the keeper. This one slides through the crease, and the Saints scramble on a little bit here in the near corner. Left side of your screen, Scott pinching in from the blue line. This one comes across ice. This is Miller. She shoots. Good save by the keeper. Was in the right place at the right time. Nelner tries to get at that one. Saints trying to get this one out, and they do. It's chipped deep. Here come the Saints. Shack back on defense. Shot in towards Wilhelm. That goes wide. 40 seconds to go here in the first period. First period that has seen 11 shots for the Spartacats, 0 officially anyway for the Saints. Saints need to clear the zone. Instead, Bauman off the bench, fresh. This one comes for Scott, sends it over for Olsen. Olsen's got 20 seconds. What kind of magic can she pull out of the hat? Great defense that time by the Saints. They come back the other way. Cron, fresh off the bench, gets in a poke check. And this one goes up near the boards and does squirt out. 6 seconds to go. Saints have got to clear that zone. Bauman battling there. We're down to our last handful of seconds, and that will do it for the first period. So first period ends. Shots are 11-0 officially in favor of the Spartacats, although there seems like there's been some more offensive action by the Saints. Maybe it just hasn't turned into shots. But a 3-0 lead for the Spartacats heading into the second period. All right, ready for second period action here on the channel. The teams have switched ends. Again, the Spartacats in their road blues with the white trim. Saints in their home whites with the black and ice blue trim. 12 minutes on the clock. Second period action set to begin here from the Dudley Auto Rink, located here on the Steele County Fairgrounds, Owatonna, Minnesota. Donahue and Cron, your defensive pairing. This is Olsen, Marcel, and Bauman from the forwards, and Jay War back in net for the Spartacats. Battle here near the Spartacat blue line. Bauman comes out with that, tries to pitch it through, but finds out physics is unkind, trying to send a puck through people. Cron battling there. Bauman uses her feet. Nicely done by Bauman. Using her feet to get it out. Here comes Cron, feeds it forward, hits Marcel's skate. Action here at the bottom of the screen. Girls go down in a heap. And here's an opportunity for Marcel. Marcel bringing it across. Oh, almost an opportunity there. A conflagration, and we've got players down. Players down in the, I'm not sure if we've got an injury or if we've just got players down. We may have had players tied up. And the referee in any event stops the clock, stops the game, make sure the goalie is okay. Safety first makes a lot of sense. Almost a dangerous situation as we got players falling on each other, but everybody seems to be back up and no one's crying, which is always a good sign. Heaters are on here at the Steele County Fairgrounds, and frankly, it's tropical. Oh, right off the faceoff, that one rolls in on the keeper. Saints keeper had to get to that one. Nurka out now for the Spartacats. Backhanded in by Shack. This one sent over from Nelner, and a shot, and that one just goes wide from Miller. Nurka retrieves that one. It was a good pass by Nelner, excuse me. That centering pass intercepted by the Saints. Miller far side. Miller hits the brakes, switches, goes backhand. Can't quite connect on that one, but Scott has it. Scott sends it. Good block that time by the Saints. And it's wrapped around by Nurka. 10:22 to go here. Second period, score 3-0 in favor of the Spartacats. This one comes for Scott, who sends it in. Opportunity and another goal. Eden Miller playing the part of garbage man that time, cleaning up the rebound and scoring a hat trick. Her second hat trick of the season. Opportunistic, talented, whatever you want to call it, the goals are going in for Eden Miller. Doing a nice job of cleaning that up and sending it forward. 4-0 now to the Spartacats. 10-10 to go here in the second period. Marcel wraps around her cage. She brings it up the far side, tries to feed it forward, and I think we're going to have a delayed penalty call here on the Saints, as I think it was Olsen went down in a heap, and the referees are going to call a trip with 9:49 to go, and the vaunted Spartacat power play that's never scored will now take to the ice. Now they've got a 2-minute penalty up on the board. Isn't that supposed to be a 1-minute penalty? Isn't it supposed to be a 1-minute penalty, not a 2? 1 minute, not 2? Oh, they changed it. There it is. Now it's a 1-minute penalty up on the board. Cats win that one nominally, but it gets punched out to neutral ice. Nurka has now moved to, looks like she's moved to defense now. Bauman, Olsen, and Donahue are playing your forward. We've got penalty timers that are not working. So somehow the penalty timers were disabled. Probably by putting in the penalty, whoever's running the clock and the penalty accidentally turned off the penalty timers. Because the penalty time wasn't running despite the fact that the clock was running. So we'll wait for the referee and the timers, the minor officials, to figure that one out. In the meantime, we'll get ready for a face-off just outside the Spartacat off D-zone. I can talk. And they're going to run some time off of the penalty. And they ran about 16 seconds off, and now we'll have a face-off again with Meller, Cron, and can't see who the other forward is. Donahue. So Donahue and Cron have moved to forward. Nurka and Nelner have moved to defense. Oh, centering pass opportunity here for the Saints. They slice in. Good kick save that time by Jay War. It was a good shot, slightly better. It was a good shot and a good save. It was a centering attempt, or a pass attempt that maybe should have gone up the near side instead of to the middle. But here's one for Donahue. Donahue with it. Donahue feeds that forward. Finds Meller. Meller has Cron on the other side. Meller comes in. Cron sends it in and scores. Meller sets up her teammate. Meller draws the keeper to the right side, and a power play tally for Cron makes it 5-0 to the Spartacats. Check it that way. Yeah, that was a power play. Okay, got it. So Cron gets one there for the Spartacats. 8:38 to go here, second period. Wasn't sure if Cron had taken herself out of that play as Meller had gone really deep. Cron tries to get this one out, does get it out. This one's going to be on goal. And a nice frozen puck there for the Saints keeper, as the Spartacats now have tallied 15 shots officially on goal. One for the Saints. Again, it feels like it's been a little more up and down than that. They just haven't been on frame. Face-off win there by Olsen. This falls for Marcel. Marcel fires it in towards the crease. Opportunity for Shaq. Shaq tries to backhand it in. Shaq tries to go in again. An opportunity. It's cleaned up at the back door by Zoe Scott. So Zoe Scott also moved to forward from defense. So that's going to be 6 for the Spartacats. Your forwards are Olsen, Shaq, and Scott. Your defenders are Bauman and Marcel. So we're going to have a quick conversation over there. A quick conversation about something. In any event, we're ready now for play. Spartacats win that face-off. This one comes for Scott. Scott now playing a forward position. Comes to the near side. This is Marcel. Marcel fires it forward, gets in over the line, but the Saints are alert for it. Saints send it back out the other way. Marcel battling there. The Saints are in onside. Nicely done. They tries to squeeze that one towards net, but Scott has it there. Somebody in a blue jersey needs to expand. They need to spread out just a little bit. Here's Laura Marcel. Marcel tries to bring it over the blue line. She does. Still has it. Good defense there. This lays off for Scott, who sends it in towards net. But it finds its way back behind the goal. Shaq is set up there, as is Scott. They're pinching in, trying to keep this one tight. Here's Bauman at the point. She keeps it in. Saints will circle behind their own cage. Scott far side, comes to the middle, but the Spartacats were in the middle of a change, and here's an opportunity for the Saints. Spartacats will come back quickly. Good rally defense that time by Izzy Nurka. Nurka with good rally defense. Getting back as the Saints had an opportunity. Or see if Shaq now is able to convert going the other direction. She maintains control of it. She's 1v3. Spartacats still changing behind her. Shaq chips that down in. Olsen is coming to the bench. Donahue on the forecheck. Here come the Saints. Opportunity 2-on-1. Marcel's the only one back, and that's going to be a penalty. Penalty against the Spartacats. A good shot and an opportunity, as there's still an opportunity for the Saints. Where's that puck? Nobody can seem to find it, but the referee lost sight of it. And we have a frozen puck, a power play opportunity here for the Saints with 5:59 to go here in the second period. Shots officially 16-2. Goalies are switched. Wilhelm in, J-War out. 5:59 to go. Shots 16-2. Score right now 6-0 in favor of the Spartacats. A triple from Eden Miller. One from Cron. One from Scott. And one from Olsen. That's your 6. That shot comes in and it's a goal from the point. Saints made that look easy. They shot from the point. It was firm and strong, and it found the far corner. And the Saints are on the board. A power play goal for the Saints gives them some life with 5:53 to go. Didn't take much time, only a few seconds. 4 seconds off the clock, and the Saints tally. So now we return to regular programming, 5v5 hockey. Marcel steps up, sends that one towards one of her teammates. That one's thrown into the corner by Donahue, and that will be icing against the Spartacats. So 6-1 in favor of the Spartacats. And there goes the extra consideration for a shutout. And I have to think that even if the Spartacats win this game, they'll likely be in the 5th place game tomorrow morning. Anything's possible, but that's most likely. If they lose, they're in the 7th place game. If they win, they're probably in the 5th place game. This one comes to Miller. Miller tries to get that one out. Here's an opportunity for Cron. Cron's pumping her legs. She's over the blue line. She shoots from distance. Good save by the keeper. Miller tries to get the rebound. This one's smashes to the far corner. This one's crossed over. Bauman comes back to get this one. Settles that down. Passes far side Miller. Miller, far side, has a teammate up ahead. That's Scott. Scott brings it across. Can't quite control it though. Lost her stick. And that comes out, so we'll have offside against the Spartacats with 5:06 to go. Neutral zone face-off for the Spartacats and Saints coming here from Owatonna. Scott wins that one, tries to steer it in. Saints say, nope, I'm going to take that back from you. Here's an opportunity for Olsen. Olsen backhands it towards Shaq. Shaq also has the backhand. Boy, these girls in love their backhands, don't they? Nurka's going to play it, but I think Nurka was off, let it get out of the zone, and the referees agree. So we will have another offside call here with 4:47 to go, second period. Jefferson Jaguars, the Egan Wildcats still knotted up at zeros with 38 seconds to go in that game. Scott pokes that one in. Scott gives chase. Olsen right behind her. Scott into the far corner. Good battle in the corner. Scott tries to send it in. Olsen quickly sends that towards net. Now she chases her own rebound. Centering pass, opportunity there. This one comes for Nelner at the point. Nelner slings that down into the slot. Shaq has it, backhands it in. And the Saints will break out the other way. Oh, nice move there by the Saints. Saints coming in. Opportunity for Nelner. Nelner shoots. Wilhelm fights off that one. It was a good save. It was a scary-looking rush, attempted to be broken up by Nelner, but the shot still got off. Wilhelm fought that one off. I'm surprised they haven't given him credit for a shot on goal with that one. I sure thought it was a shot on goal. Maybe it was going to go wide, but looked pretty dangerous from where I was sitting. Shaq up the near boards, right under your camera. Shaq feeds that to the middle. Opportunity here for Olsen. It's slapped away by the Saints defense. Nurka steps to the middle. She checks that one away from the Saints. Saints get it back, though, and steer it into the Spartacat end. Under 3.5 minutes to go here. And the second period. Cron, I'm not sure what Cron was doing there, if she just came off the bench, exactly what was going on, but here's an opportunity for the Spartacats. They're basically 3-on-1 down. Now the Saints rally. Miller finds that one. This was Cron in the near corner. Cron's going to try to keep that one in, but she's dispossessed. Stays in momentarily, but now it comes out. And now Marcel's going to send that forward. Donahue on the far side tries to take it away from the Saints, tries to slip it back in. And the Saints say, not today. Poke that back out to neutral ice. Here come the Saints. They've got a 2-on-1 opportunity. They're going to go to goal. Good pad save that time by Wilhelm. Wilhelm, it slides all the way behind Wilhelm, behind the crease. Saints unlucky that one didn't find the back of the net. Good effort, certainly by the Saints players. Unlucky that it didn't hit something and go in. But offsides on the Saints as the Spartacats were able to get a brief clearance. And with 2:29 to go, shots now 17-4. They actually did give them credit for that one. 17-4. Intermission in Egan. The Jefferson Jaguars and the Wildcats knotted up at 0 at the first intermission. That one's going to get dumped in. That's going to be, well, I'm not sure why that's not icing, but the referee was very clear about that one. So this one comes for Olsen. Now picked up by Bauman. Shaq. Shaq slaps at that one. Saints are going to come away with that, at least briefly. Bauman, again, sends it back up the boards. Shaq just needs to get a little bit of space. Olsen covering for Shaq, as Marcella, she had stepped forward. This one gets punched down deep into the Saints' end. Scott gives chase. This goes by a couple of people. And will drift all the way down, and icing waved off by the referee. 1 minute, 40 seconds to go. Far side, Scott tries to get that out. She does momentarily. All the Saints are all offside, but now they clear the zone. And that's sent back in. I think that's going to be, I'm not sure why that's not icing either. I guess there was a Spartacat player close to it. Bauman tries to send that up for Shaq. This comes for Scott. It's kept out. This one comes in towards Wilhelm. Not sure if that was going to go in or not, but she had to do something with it. It was very close, no question about that. This comes for Shaq. Shaq's going to try to put the moves on. She's going to go by one defender. She's going to go try to by another defender. Here's an opportunity for Scott. Can the keeper get to that? Oh, my goodness. There was a whistle. Goalie looked like she was going to have it. It was a quick whistle. Spartacats maybe Spartacats may feel a little hard done by there. As the keeper, it bounced up. She had a glove on it and then lost it immediately. In any event, we play on. 52 seconds to go, as you can see there on the right side of your screen. Miller, Kron, Donahue, your forwards. Nurka and Nelner are your defenders. Wilhelm in goal for the Spartacats. Nelner sends this in towards the crease, towards the slot. No one able to get on the other end of it in a blue jersey. Saints slap at it. Kron battles there. Kron pushed out of the way. And this went out of the zone. Nelner retreats behind her own cage. Check it. She's on the near side. She might circle behind the net, but she doesn't. Instead, here comes Miller. Miller with a head of steam. She's going to go by one defender. She's going to stay with that puck. Kron's on the backside. Miller shoots. Good defense that time. Bouncing puck. Comes to Kron. Kron tries to feed the front. Hits the back of the net. This one will come to the point. This is Nurka. Nurka backhands it in, but it's taken by the Saints. Here's an opportunity for the Saints going the other way. Milner to the middle. Good pad save that time by Wilhelm. And that is it. I'm not sure why there wasn't a buzzer at the end of that one. There's the buzzer. And I'm not sure where that shot came in, but in any event, we are finished 2 periods of hockey here in Owatonna. Shots 18-5 in favor of the Spartacats. Spartacats also leading on the scoreboard 6-1. Minutes on the clock. Third period action. The teams have switched ends. Now they'll no more long change. Scott and Shaq, your wings, with Olsen in the middle. Far side is Bauman. Near side is Marcel for the defense pairing, and Jay War back in the net. This one will float down into the corner. Bauman with it, whips it around the side. Is this going to find a blue stick? It's not. It's going to be claimed by the Saints, but Bauman follows it up, takes out her own teammate, but here come the Spartacats. This is Olsen. She's got a burst of speed. She brings it in over the blue line. Can Scott get a touch to it? Scott does get a touch to it, but a good sliding save. Excellent sliding save that time by the keeper. She stayed with that puck the whole time. Had Scott in the corner of her eye, and she was able to squeeze that down. Excellent job by the keeper. It was a dangerous play in terms of whether a goal could be scored, but the keeper stayed with it. Same 5 up front for the Spartacats. Olsen with deep with the forecheck. That one pops up in the air, bounces over Shaq, and comes to the blue line. Bauman unable to keep it in. Right there, almost running over the referee, far side. This comes for Scott. Zoe Scott, he gets her eyes up. Now she looks across the blue line. Comes across the blue line. I thought she might have been offside. There may have been offsides there against the Spartacats, but Scott battles in the corner, and this one will be punched out by the Saints. Marcel unable to hold that point, and here come the Saints. Battle right below your camera. Saints punch that down the other way. Bauman with it first. Bauman slings it across the ice. This is Shaq. Shaq far side. Shaq tries to feed Olsen. That one's going to come out. Now Bauman has it. Bauman tries to send it back in. Saints have seen that movie before, and so they try to get in front of it. Nicely done. Shaq tries to get it in. Here's Donahue. Donahue left side of your screen. Donahue shoots. Good save by the keeper. That goes behind the cage. Saints now behind the cage. We've got multiple changes going on here for the Spartacats. Nurka with it. She gets that back out of the zone. Play right under your camera. Again, this is for Donahue. Comes back in for Nelner. Nelner has it on her backhand. Now she's got a little bit of steam. Has a lane. Nelner from one end. Here she comes across the blue line. Shoots from distance. Good sliding save that time by the keeper. Good cross there. Opportunity for Nelner again. Check it. That was Donahue. Donahue centering pass and looking for Miller. Miller camped out at the top of the crease. But the Saints managed to push that one out to neutral ice. 9.5 minutes to go. Here's Cron off of her stick. Tries to get that in. She does momentarily, but it's held up at the blue line by the Saints. Cron's going to try it again. It's cleared out that time. This comes from Nurka at neutral ice. Cron again sends it across, and here's Miller. Miller's going to get to this one first. Keeper with a good opportunity. And the puck's behind the keeper, but she squeezes the pads together. Nicely done by the keeper. Thought that might squirt in, but instead the keeper kept her pads together and denied the Spartacats an opportunity. 9:03 to go. Here in the third period, Scott pitchforks that one over to the far side. This is Shack. Comes to the near side. Shack with it. Shack to the middle. Shack avoids. Here's Olsen. Olsen shoots. Good save. Rebound is cleared by the defense. Nicely done. Good save and a great clearance of that loose puck. This one's going to go down for icing, certainly, as it makes it to the end. And with 8:38 to go, we'll have a defensive zone faceoff for the Saints in their own end. To the left, oddly enough, the left of their keeper. Shots now 22-5 in favor of the Spartacats. Olsen, Scott, Shack, your forwards, Marcel and Bauman, your defenders. Face-off win that time by the Saints. Spartacats able to keep it in briefly. It's going to come out. Brought back in by Scott, sends it in towards goal. Took a weird bounce. Here's an opportunity for Scott. And a good save by the keeper again. That one deflected, came right over to Scott. Scott had another opportunity, but the keeper never gave up on that one. And she holds on for the save. Music probably cut off about 3 seconds too early there, but in any event we play on. Face-off win goes out of the zone. Nurka, check it. Marcel steers that one back in. Shack. Far side, tries to slap that in. Saints defense there at the blue line, stout. Scott with it. Look at Olsen in the middle. Now Olsen's got to clear the zone, but if Olsen can get this puck, she's got so much free ice in front of her. Marcel dispossessed. Here's an opportunity for the Saints. Good save that time by Jay War. Game not over by any stretch of the imagination. There's still 7:42 to go in this third period. A couple of quick goals by the Saints would make it really difficult, might make things real nervous. And that's offside against the Saints. So a stoppage. And I think we've got an intentional offside. Intentional offsides. They're going to bring it all the way down to the other end. So offensive zone face-off for the Spartacats. Nelner and Nurka, your defenders. Cron gets it from Donahue. Cron sends it in looking for Miller. Miller has it on her backhand. It's still loose. Miller tries again. Sends it in. Opportunity. Donahue. It's still in there. It's pinballs around the crease. And somehow does not go in. Miller loses a skate. Saints doing a good job there trying to get at that puck. Milner loses her skates there, but maintains control of the puck. Steers it back going the other direction. Oh, good poke check there that time by the Saints. That sends it down into the Spartacat end. Centering pass broken up that time by Donahue. Oh, Nurka right in the middle. That was living dangerous for the Spartacats. Cats just need to make solid fundamental hockey plays. It's kept in by the Saints at the point. Nicely done. Here's Donahue. She pitches it forward, and here comes Miller. Miller has some ice in front of her. She's going to center in. This is going to be Cron to get to it first on the far side. She'll send it to the middle. Opportunity for Miller. Miller tied up that time by the defense. Donahue turns, spins, shoots. Good save by the keeper, and she covers up. 26 shots on goal for the Spartacats, and that was a good save by the keeper. 6:21 to go here, third period. Again, I think the Spartacats now locked into probably the 5th place game. Unless something dramatically changes here in the next 6 minutes and 21 seconds. That game should, I think it's tomorrow at somewhere around 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock. Bouncing puck then, puck sent in by Shaq. Cats, Scott behind the net, sends it in towards the crease. It's still loose. Olsen smelling a goal opportunity there. She's down tight. Scott battles far side, right side of your screen.
Saints come out of that one, try to push it out of their own defensive zone, but it stays in.
And the Saints unable to clear. Olsen's going to give chase. Try to get to that puck first. Scott sets up in front. Opportunity as Scott takes that one, shoots, but that's blocked by a skate.
Olsen's going to try it again.
Olsen has it now on her backhand. Brings it behind the cage. Good defense that time by the Saints, and she's dispossessed. Pinching by Marcel at the point. Her shot is blocked. This one goes to the far side. This is Shaq trying to keep it in. And that one gets pushed out to neutral ice. Bauman with it. Bauman sends it to the near side boards. Olsen tries to push it forward. The Saints get possession. Marcel tries to get it deep to go for a change.
But the Saints jump on that one very quickly and are going back the other direction. Here's Bauman around her own cage. Wilhelm now in for the Spartacats. Cron unable to send that one forward. Meller into the middle.
This one comes. Meller giving chase. Meller with a good stick to it. Opportunity. Cats took it off each other's stick there.
Need to be a little careful on that front. Donahue goes far side, but that's going to be offsides against the Saints.
4:23 to go here in the third period.
Donahue wins that one, sends it over to the Saints. Saints try to steer that one back into the offensive zone. They do with the right side. Nelner in the corner. Feeds that forward. It's kept in by the Saints at the point. Sent behind the cage. Goes to the far side. Cron's going to make a race for it. So is Nurka. Comes in towards Wilhelm. Nelner with her eyes up sends that one forward, but hits the skates of Donahue. Donahue punches that out. And this one goes towards the Saints. Cron with a good forecheck there, but misses it. And Nurka far side. Tries to get to it. Meller on the back check. Nicely done. Far side. Miller around the corner. Brings it around the cage. Feeds it forward for Donahue. That one came out. And unlucky there for the Spartacats as Cron had that puck and was going the other direction. 6-1 the score. Cron had an idea of maybe trying to go for another goal, but the referee's whistle broke that play up. New forwards on the ice for the Spartacats. It's Olsen, Scott, and Shaq, with Nelner and Nurka your defenders. This is Shaq. Shaq through mid-center ice over the blue line.
She's dispossessed, and the Saints slap it going the other way.
Nurka had fallen. It's not going to go for icing as it didn't have enough juice. Nurka missed the first one. Now she comes back and goes the other direction. Now she's got it there. Sends it up towards Shaq. It's kept in that time smartly by the Saints. And this comes for Nelner. Nelner stays on her skates, pushes that forward towards
Olsen. Olsen's going to get to this one first. Tries a backhand centering opportunity, but it's tied up there by the Saints. Now she sends it to the middle, but nobody was there in a blue jersey. 2:40 to go here, third period. That one's going to be sent down the other way.
I don't think that's going to make it. It'll be icing if it makes it. And the referee waves off icing as Nelner sends that up towards Olsen. It's kept in by Scott. Now Olsen. Olsen trying to find some open ice. Nelner tries to go up this side again towards Olsen and Scott. Collision at the blue line. Goes into the far corner. Shack might get to this first. She does. Circles behind the Saints cage. Centering pass broken up that time by the Saints defense. This one falls for Olsen. Olsen tries to go cross ice to Miller, but that time it's broken up. And that puck goes back in and should have been offside against the Spartacats. But we play on. Bauman, cross for Kron. Kron brings it over the blue line. Now she's offside as that was poked away by the Saints. And with 1:38 to go, a neutral zone faceoff for the two teams. Kron takes a swipe at that, sends it forward. Opportunity here for Bauman. Bauman hammers that off the boards, hits a couple of Saints as it heads that way. And here comes Miller. Miller with an opportunity. She's got a head of steam. She shoots. Good save by that time by the keeper. I thought I heard a whistle there, but I think the referee was an aborted whistle. Donahue sends that towards the crease. It's broken up that time by the defense. And here come the Saints going the other direction. That puck goes towards the far side. Kron's got it there, sends that down deep. That's going to be icing. And Kron could have taken probably a couple more strides maybe there to prevent that from being icing. We have 53 seconds to go. So the shots 26-7 in favor of the Spartacats. Spartacats have basically from the second period on have been calling off the Dogs. Moving forwards to defense and defense to forwards, etc. But a good energy performance by the Spartacats. This is Nurka behind the net. This is Nelner. Nelner tries to feed it forward, but a good forecheck that time by the Saints. And here's Olsen. Olsen's got an opportunity. She just needs to pump those legs. She does pump the legs. She's got Scott to the middle. Feeds Scott to the middle. Scott shoots and misses wide. It was great play, great team play there by Olsen and Scott. This falls for Shack. Shack's going to try to keep it in, send it behind the cage, but it's intercepted there by the Saints. 20 seconds to go here in the third period. Scott battling near corner. This is Olsen. Olsen sends it to the middle. Shack's going to try to get it. Opportunity. Shack had it. Steered back in for Scott. And with 5 seconds to go, I don't think the Spartacats are going to get another scoring opportunity. Puck's not going to come out. And that will do it. So final score 6-1 in favor of the Spartacats. Spartacats, as I said, almost for sure locked into the fifth place game tomorrow morning here in Owatonna. We think that game time's either 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. But we'll figure that out and update the Spartacats chats accordingly. But a good game for both teams. Cats had a plethora of goals early in the game. They kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit to try to work on some things and did a nice job. Saints battled the whole way. They were down 6-0 and managed to get one on 7 shots. So thanks for joining us on the channel. We'll do our best to, I think we'll be broadcasting tomorrow morning. Can't swear to it, but I think we will be. And if so, we will see you tomorrow morning.